Dan the Man with Ralston Acres Christmas Tree Farm. Today we're going to dive into the varieties of trees that we can grow in the southeastern United States. Primarily outside the mountains of Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, North Florida, and Mississippi. So we're going to try to stay in that area. I feel pretty comfortable with that. But I've got a good show for you. Let's dive right on into it. Today we're going to look at two different varieties to start with. One is our most popular variety. It's called a Murray cypress. The Murray cypress is it's a hybrid tree. It grows from cuttings. It is a deep green tree. The branches are moderately strong. It is a cousin to the Leland cypress, in case you're looking up the genealogy of these trees. The Murray cypress was traditionally developed by Bill Murray in middle Georgia, around Cordell, Georgia. I give him credit for that. He actually took me on my first educational trip of Murray cypress. So we're very happy to have this Murray cypress here, even though he is passed away. We also have right here some blue eye cypress. You can see right here, they're primarily, I call them a Smurf tree. They're also a hybrid tree. They come from an Arizona cypress variety, and they're a very popular tree as well. Not quite as popular as the Murray cypress because of the green, but novelty tree, yes, the blue ice is, and it looks beautiful with red and blue lights. They really stand out. So with that said, there's two of the varieties, right? Okay, this is the Carolina Sapphire. This variety of tree is a very fragrant tree. It has sort of a fragrance that's a cross between a orange peel and a peppermint, if you want to look at it that way. But these are soft branches. Now, this variety of tree does not do very well with heavy ornaments or anything other than it does well with lights and ribbons and bows and light ornaments. Here is another variety of trees that we can grow here. It's sort of been billed as a landscape tree over the years, but tree farmers like to experiment a little bit here and there, and we have taken a little bit of time to experiment with this variety tree called a green giant arborvitae. Green giant. That is not native to this area. Like I said, it is billed as a landscape tree, but I think it makes a pretty good Christmas tree. And we've had some good success with people using this tree in their home and enjoying it as a Christmas tree over the last couple of years. Let me show you something unique to these trees too. Very similar to the Virginia pine. When it gets cold and wintertime gets going real good, these trees lose a lot of their green color. They almost turn a bronze color, as you can see here. The limbs are very sturdy. They look good. They got a really leaf, I guess you call it a leaf structure, but the needles, if you will, they're a lot like the Murray cypress, but then they're different. They almost have this waxy feel to them, and shiny. But the bronze color you see here is not because the tree's in stress, not because it's dying or anything like that. That's just the nature of this tree. It wants to turn bronze in the cold weather. Now, what do we do about that if we're Christmas tree farmers? We color them. We color them. There's one that's been colored. That is a green giant as well. I'm going to step out of the way here just a second so you can see it better. That is a green giant, and it has a deep green color. We have people that buy these things and put them in their house and decorate them just like they would any other green Christmas tree. It keeps a good green color with the coloring on there, and it does not hurt. Let me talk a minute about the coloring. The coloring on these trees that we put is and I don't want to really, I'm not scientific about this, but it's almost like a food coloring. It is made for these Christmas trees, and it dries on them, and it doesn't come off primarily. Oh, I guess if you rubbed hard enough, you know, and over time it might. But once it's on these trees and once it's on there correctly, it doesn't come off, and it actually doesn't. It doesn't really affect the tree any at all from its photosynthesis or anything like that. It just gives it that good deep green color. And that green color right there will stay with this tree. It'll stay with this tree for a long time. This one here, it just hasn't been colored at all. This one here, we colored. Why the difference? Because we ran out of color before you got here. But that's the deep green color that these green giants will have. So you've been through the green giant right here. You've been through the Virginia pine. You've been through the Murray cypress, the Carolina sapphire, and the blue eye cypress. So all those are varieties that we will grow here. Now there's two other varieties that we will bring into the farm simply because they cannot grow here. One variety would be the Fraser fir. Fraser firs are very plentiful in North Carolina, Virginia, points north. West Virginia, I'm sure, probably has a few, but the Fraser fir is a very popular tree. It's got good, strong limb structure. It's a little more spaced out than the trees that we grow here on the farm as far as their limbs are a little more spaced out. But the Fraser fir is a very popular tree. They have to come from primarily for our farm from North Carolina. We do have some trees that we will bring in from as far away as Oregon. Those are the Douglas fir. Now that's as of this taping. We have been bringing in some Douglas fir for the last couple of years, and they perform quite nicely. A Douglas fir is a little different than a Fraser fir. It has a little different fragrance. It is a little more, the branches are a little more dense than the Fraser fir, but it is a very, very popular tree and one that is used a lot west of the Mississippi River, especially the coastline of the United States in the west, and then also in various parts of the Northwest. So I just wanted you to let you know that those are some other varieties to consider if you're considering pre-cuts. Now, let me mention this to you real quickly. There is a debate amongst all Christmas tree farmers as to whether or not to use pre-cuts in your inventory during the Christmas season. Well, it's sort of like this. I had Bill Murray, who is the developer of the Murray cypress. He told me this when I was visiting his farm and purchasing some Murray cypress from him. He says, Dan says, always remember that it's your customers' likes and dislikes, not yours. In other words, buy and sell what the customer is going to like, not necessarily what you like. So I have an opinion about how they grow, how they look, how they smell, and how they sell. The customer, though, is the one that ultimately makes that choice of purchasing. So what we do is we do bring in some pre-cuts simply because that's what they see in the magazines. That's what they see in artificial trees. They see modeled after the Douglas fir or Noble fir or Fraser fir. They'll see these. They also like the experience of coming to the farm and partaking of the wreath shop and the gift shop and the concessions, but they just don't want to cut the tree. They just want to buy the perfect Christmas tree. And so they go and get the pre-cut. We do keep ours in water, and we'll show you about that in another video. But that's the debate versus, and they are a little bit difficult to deal with because you got to keep them in water and you have to handle them 2 or 3 times, and you have to have some experience in getting them here on trucks and on time, and all. There's a lot to do with that. But the thing to remember, that's what the customers might be wanting, especially if you're near an urban area. The ones on the farm, we sell more of those than we do pre-cuts. Right now we sell about 3 of ours to 1 of the pre-cuts, just simply because they want the experience of seeing the tree, cutting the tree, taking the tree to be processed, taking it home. They become more of a part of the harvesting process of getting their Christmas tree. So I just wanted to bring that up at this point. There's a debate. Some like it, some don't. somebody like me, I use both because I go back to what I was told. Do what your customers will like. So with that in mind, I just want to shift gears here a little bit, tell you to subscribe to our Christmas Tree Farm video here. If you don't mind, please do that. That helps me and is of no cost whatsoever to you. Share this with other folks that you feel like would enjoy our content. And we'll have some other topics that we'll bring up as we go by. But for now, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Farming Around the Christmas Tree.